Big Bang Theory Season 4 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important if you're not caught up to the point where I am and rewatching or watching The Big Bang Theory, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention as well as put in the description for you. If that happens to be the case and you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers of funny moments that may or may not happen in this episode. This will be The Big Bang Theory Season 4, Episode 7. The title of this episode is called The Apology, Insufficiency. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode last night, actually. During lunch, Leonard says that he's going to be more confident with women. Howard comes and says that he needs a security clearance, so the guys will be hearing from an FBI agent. Raj is at home reading the new, or I guess it wasn't new, maybe it was new at that time, Twilight New Moon, when Special Agent Paige arrives, played by Elijah Dushku, formerly a Buffy, Angel, Wrong Turn, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. She was on Banshee Season 4, amongst other things. And to talk to her, of course, he has to have some alcohol, but he doesn't have any, except he does have some rum cake, so he has a couple pieces of rum cake, so he's able to talk to Agent Paige. And then Raj keeps telling her how much he likes the USA and loves the USA, because he thinks talking to Agent Paige is going to get him deported somehow, some way, even though he is here legally. But, I don't know, maybe it was the alcohol talking. And then she's done with Raj. She's had enough of him whining about how he wants to stay in the USA. And she goes to speak with Leonard next, and he's doing the whole confidence angle. Asks her out on a date, and she's like, well, I don't know if my 6'2" or 6'3" husband would appreciate that, as she shows her ring finger to him. And so that ends that. And then back at the apartment, somebody's knocking on the door, and Sheldon doesn't want to answer it. And Leonard keeps hinting to the fact that he should answer it. And he's like, Sheldon, go answer the door. And he's like, fine, you just had to say that. If you would have asked me, you hear somebody knocking or something like that, I would have answered it. And lo and behold, it's Special Agent Paige. Sheldon talks about sending them a bag of crap years ago and wonders why they never got back to him about it. He wanted it analyzed. He tells her about Howard damaging a case. She asks about Howard, like, is he trustworthy or something like that. He shows her a Blu-ray disc of the Lord of the Rings, and it was damaged when it was brought back. One of the, not the actual disc, but the inside the case, the thing that holds the disc in there, apparently worked before and isn't working now, so he blames that on Howard. He talks about Howard recommending Matrix Revolutions and said it was pretty on par with the first one. And he also talks about the thing that Howard screwed up on Mars when he let somebody that into the university that wasn't supposed to be there. So all these things give Special Agent Paige enough information where she's has no more questions for Sheldon. And then the next day, Howard mentions that he didn't get the security clearance to work on the space lasers. And Sheldon actually feels guilty about telling Agent Paige about the Mars incident. And that turns out to be a dream. So Sheldon next day goes to talk to Agent Paige, but she won't change her opinion. Her decision has been made. So Sheldon actually sees Raj with Dr. Tyson, the guy who is the one who discarded Pluto as a planet or had something to do with it. And then this is all, after arguing with Howard doesn't want anything to do with Sheldon anymore because of the whole him not getting the FBI clearance for the space lasers. And then Dr. Tyson comes back and tells Sheldon he's sorry for the whole Pluto matter. And Sheldon says, oh, shut up. So Sheldon goes to visit Penny, who's back. We didn't see Penny for a few episodes because Kaylee Cuoco had actually broken her leg in a horse accident. I think she fell off a horse and she was missing for the last 2 episodes. And we had to put up with other characters that we had to see too much. So Penny is being hidden now. She's bartending. They don't want to show her leg, and she's behind the bar. So Penny tries to talk to she actually tries to talk Sheldon into going to Olive Garden as guest customers. She doesn't like. She tries to send them to Olive Garden instead of the Cheesecake Factory. And then Sheldon bashes Jimmy Carter, who once was the worst president of the United States. Yes, I said it. Except now Joe Biden has definitely taken that dubious distinction. But he bashes Carter because I don't remember exactly what it was. I didn't write it down, or type it down, I should say. But then Sheldon takes a shot and spits it back into the shot glass. And Sheldon asks Penny how she faces her failures, as she has many failures. And she says, I drink. So Sheldon tries the shot again, but spits it out again, which is pretty hilarious. And then Sheldon's says he's going to reprogram Howard before he leaves the Cheesecake Factory. He actually tries to take the shot a third time, walks away, and then kind of comes back and spits it out again. Poor guy. So Sheldon's giving Howard his spot on the couch. He gives him a couch cushion and says that this is all I care about, more than my mom. And Raj is like, oh, you have to forgive him now. So Howard actually does accept Sheldon's apology. And then back at the apartment we go. Howard's actually sitting in Sheldon's spot, and he's like, I understand why you chose this spot. The temperature's here, you can see the TV. And Sheldon's like, I changed my mind and wants his spot back. And then Leonard and Penny have apparently a bet going on, as it lasted 94 seconds with Howard sitting in his spot. And apparently Penny wins because Leonard gives Penny money, and that's what ends this episode. So I'm going to give this episode a 9.2 out of 10. I really liked it. I'm, of course, a big fan of Elijah Dushku. She, if you had to do my top however many female celebrities that I have a crush on of all time, I don't know what place she's in, but she would certainly make a top 25, maybe top 20 list, maybe even higher than that. I guess I haven't thought about it all too much, except for like the first 5 or 6. My character of the episode, well, I'm going to give this one to Sheldon, because he was just hilarious with the whole look at what happened inside the case to my Lord of the Rings thing, and the whole stuff at the Cheesecake Factory with him taking the shot and keep going and spitting it back into the shot glass. And then Penny, she's back. She doesn't have a lot to do now on the show, but she's back, which is a good thing. So we had to put up with the one chick that Leonard went on a date with Howard and Bernadette with. I can't remember her name. I'm going to give Penny an 8.5 in this particular episode, because she's the reason why I started watching The Big Bang Theory. So my favorite moment, again, I said it, I would think the whole stuff at the Cheesecake Factory was pretty hilarious. So you've heard what I have to say. Now, of course, it is your turn. If you're a fan of The Big Bang Theory or Young Sheldon, please consider smashing that like button. It helps out the channel with the YouTube algorithm. Share the video with whomever you want, or put it on any of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are. I don't really comment on these videos because nobody really comments. I get, 5 to 25 views on these videos, depending on what episode it is, but nobody leaves a comment. So your job, if you're watching this video, is to leave me a goddamn comment. I will respond to all comments. Drop it in the comment section. You could rate the episode. What would you score it out of 10? Your character of the episode. And if you want to rate Penny based on how she's looking in this episode, because that's what I do, you can definitely do that. And last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. Like I said, you're watching the video anyway. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Join the team. Show your damn support and be able to do something special. And JDev will return.